Here we go. All right, let's see, let everybody in.
Release the hounds.
Yeah, there we go.
I get a little bit of feedback there.
Hello, 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 hello.
Oh, come on,
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, is everyone's there? Gonna put it on screen so we can, no, gallery view. Yeah, excellent. Oh, well, hello everybody. How's it going? Fantastic. Good to have you all. Yeah, we got a seriously good crowd tonight, so that's pretty awesome. Can everybody hear us okay? All good? Can you hear us okay? No?
Make sure you've got your,
Is audio coming from here?
yeah. Demi, you're connecting to audio at the moment.
Can everybody hear us? Hello? Leo, can you hear us?
Just give us a thumbs up.
No? Oh, it would help if I put it. All right. There we go. That's awesome. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me now? Yeah? Fantastic, fantastic. Good stuff. Good crowd tonight. Looking really awesome. You're all looking so well. Can you guys out there please put on some videos so we can see who's there? Yeah, we're going to crack on with an awesome session, right? Let's see. Is everyone excited? You all look a bit pumped there, yeah? Fantastic. Good crowd. Guys, please, if you got videos, can you pop them on? We'd love to see who we're talking to. It's really awesome to see your faces. That's awesome. Thank you so much. You're looking so lovely on this awesome Tuesday evening. Let's rock it. I have an awesome surprise for you guys tonight. We are going to be introducing somebody quite awesome. And we are here with, we're going to be doing a session called How to Find Some Sweet Land and Deals. And we are connecting with none other than the awesome lady of real estate, Cheryl Leong.
What an
Hey.
announcement and what a welcome. Thank you so much, guys. How are you, Matt and Sahara?
Yeah, we're doing really good. We're really pumped and excited to have you on board today
Thank
to
you.
have a chat. Guys, I just want to give a shout out to Cheryl. She has been an awesome part of our partnership. She's a property evangelist. When we talk to her about stuff, she's got such a lot of knowledge and experience and energy in what she does. She's an expert, and what I love about Cheryl is her ability and her want to create the social impact in real estate and through the community, the development community, and just real estate at large. So we really love that energy from her, and we really enjoy being around her. And she is, for us, what I love about Cheryl, and you'll see this as we go through this training today, is she is a time management expert, right? You've got a lot going on, haven't you, Cheryl? There is a ton going on in your life, isn't it?
A lot going on. You know that. Like every single 15-minute block almost gets scheduled some way, somehow. As you know, I've got two little kids of my own. I don't have other children that are not my own. Sometimes.
That's good.
Unless it's school holidays, then everyone thinks, my place is a resort. But no, I have to be really strict with my time, and it is full. But thankfully, I love hanging around the people that I do, like yourselves, obviously, and the amazing community that we have. So this is really exciting because it's almost it's a real collaboration. It's a real jam session of your jam session and the business of property. So it's going out to a really wide audience, and it's actually one of the first that we've done, which is kind of cool.
Absolutely, yeah. So just for everybody that's on this session, we got our group, which is the Guerrilla group that we do. We have our own tribe, which is awesome. We love them. We got a lot of people connected up here today. We've got a whole lot of new members that have joined us, which is fantastic. And we're pumping it out to the development group of Cheryl's, and that's pretty awesome. So, hey guys out there in the development world, we're going to share some awesome stuff with you tonight. So, excellent. Thanks for having us. So let's move along here. So, guys, this is the first part of a series which we're calling the Ignition Series. The purpose of this series is about creating opportunity for people giving some really great fundamentals for all real estate investors, those passionate about real estate. They want to get in, they want to find out how and what, and see from the experts what's going on out there, right? So today we've got an expert in the real estate industry, and she's going to share some really, really cool stuff. And we want to be able to create the scenario to share this great information with you guys and be able to get you some solid foundation. So we'll be sharing these over the next couple of months, every week and every 2 weeks, and there'll be free sessions. You can come and catch up and join with us. And we're going to be talking to some awesome people in the real estate industry. So we've got them lined up already. So get pumped. This is going to be some seriously good stuff. So we're really looking forward to that. What do you think, Cheryl? Sound good?
I'm excited.
Yeah,
So
you look
excited.
very excited. That's awesome. Thank you very much. All right. Guys, for all of you out there, just so you know who you're talking to on our side, we consider ourselves positive cash flow property experts. We've been doing real estate for a long time, and we've created a process whereby we've been able to set ourselves up in cash flow real estate. It's doing really well, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. And it's given us the ability to create more out of our lives than we could ever have expected, right? Ever have imagined. This idea of cash flow for me is imperative, right? When I started out in real estate, I was stuck in a job, and I just didn't have time to get anything done. I was going to work frustrated because I was pumped, I was full of energy, I was excited about real estate, right? I'm like you guys, right? Entrepreneur on fire, wanting to do some good things, but stuck in my job, which was my golden handcuffs, and it held me back from doing anything because I was getting paid so well, and I wanted to keep doing well, and the more I did this job, the more rewards I was getting, so I was kind of stuck in this circle of pain. But the moment I was able to free myself, that gave me so much more opportunity to get into other things in life, right? Now I had time to break away and actually sit down and think about next steps, doing real estate deals, doing things bigger and better. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. We're experimenters. We love experimenting. One thing you'll learn about me and Sahara, we try things. We'll fail fast and we'll grow fast, right? It's okay to get things wrong. What do you reckon, Cheryl? Is failure okay?
I love failure.
Yes.
It might not feel like it at the time, but oh my goodness, isn't it great that each time you're learning from it, and you're just, we talk about, I know it's a current topic, we talk about bushfires and things like that, but it's regeneration. I was telling my children about how it causes regeneration and for us to rebirth. So fail and allow yourself to, but make sure you're falling forward. You're not falling back.
Exactly. Failure is okay so long as it's calculated and you understand the risks that you're putting yourself into. You obviously don't want to make silly mistakes, but failure is okay. It's okay to do something wrong. We've had some great failures, and I'm going to discuss some of those in a minute. We're top property tech experts now. We're in the property tech space. It's a big buzzword around at the moment.
Tech.
Our room rent software is out on beta test. We're super excited to be launching that. We got a whole lot of new beta testers just lined up, ready to go, and I know some of them are on this video session today, so excellent. Nice one, guys. Who's lined up in our team to go into that? Yeah, look at you, all of you. Awesome. Good work. That's our room rent software is going to... Sorry?
Don't forget me, I'm there too.
You're there too, absolutely. You're in front of the queue. I saw the first moment we posted it, you're up there. Awesome. So guys, if you want to find out about that, get onto that. That software is launching on the 11th of February, and it's going to help if anyone's renting out rooms as a strategy for doing what we're doing. This is a software to use to do it. It's going to be really revolutionary. We're excited to be sharing this with people. All right. We hate people that say I can't. What do you think about the word I can't, Cheryl?
What's the song? Never say never.
Never say never. If you want to do business with me and you say I can't, then we're not going to be doing business. There's a mantra that we have in our business, is our core philosophy is that there's no such word as can't. Even my daughter says it, right? We've taught my daughter, if she says I can't, we say, what's your favorite word? I can. It's a mantra. We live that, we breathe that, we understand that. We have a unique method. It's the Masters Program. We've created a process, and I'm going to show you how this looks and what we've created. When we've developed the Masters program, if anyone wants to get involved with this, we're going to take you by the hand and show you exactly how we've done what we've done over a very short space of time. And it's given us amazing freedom and the ability to really leapfrog forward into some really cool stuff in our lives. Right? Simply, what we do is co-living, right? That's the basis. This is the core, the fundamentals of how we create our cash flow from real estate. And it's been an amazing journey, and we've been able to create some incredible, great results for clients, students, and people around us, and for ourselves as well, right? An average property that would have been rented out for $590 a week, now $1,620 per week. How awesome is that? Crazy good results. Same again, yeah, $1,680 a week, up from $540. Like, you don't get per square meter on real estate. You do not get an uplift on property like that anywhere. You can go and renovate the crap out of a property. You can stand and do a big dance outside of your house to rent it out and try and get the best renters in there. You will not be able to uplift the property's rental income unless you're renting out per room. It's one of the best ways. As quickly as that, yeah. Unless, of course, you own a whole block of apartments, possibly you could beat it, but you need your big outlay of cash to get there, right? And so these projects have been doing really, really well. We've got an awesome student that's done a fantastic job. I remember when she came to us, she had these guys living in her place, and it was causing her stress. After we got it sorted, it's gone right up, and I believe that the potential of that is $2,080 a week. I mean, that's just totally phenomenal what we've been able to do for that. And I think she's on this session here tonight, I believe. Yes. Hey, how you doing there? Awesome woman. Thank you so much for joining us. You've been a great part of our journey. All right. Close all these little bits and bobs here. All right, we have a cash flow method, right? And we were talking about this earlier on. We have made many mistakes along the way. And what we do is not short stay, right? We know that short stay, this whole component of short stay does well. But when we got into that, we sucked. We didn't do too well at it. The reason is because we felt so shackled to this idea of reviews and having to make sure people are looked after so well that they want to give you good reviews, and you'd have to constantly suck up to them. The strategy that we use now, which is long stay, has given us way more options, and we don't have to feel like we're obligated to.
Sure. I have to qualify that I was actually one of the main people who was sort of working in that short stay business. And to be honest, we didn't suck. we actually did really, really, really well. But that's because of the massive effort that we put into it. And when you actually equate the effort versus the financial return, that's when we actually realized that this wasn't going to be a good deal for a long-term prospect. It was great for a couple of years, and we did very well at it, as in we were good at it, but financially it just didn't make sense. So that is why we're not doing that anymore, but we certainly understand, and we're able to now take the short stay and go, okay, we understand what it's all about, but that's not our forte. The long stay, the co-living, that is our forte, because we know, because we've done it, right?
That idea, Cheryl, we had this concept of doing so well at it, right? And we became super hosts, right? Imagine you get yourself to that top level, right? And it's the same with everything. Once you're up there, you have to be pushing hard to constantly keep up there, right? Exactly. It doesn't just happen, right? You can't just get up there and say all of a sudden,
effort.
I can sit back now and relax. So you've got to constantly be working at it.
You're constantly being dictated to by reviews, always worrying that you're going to get a 4-star instead of a 5-star. Like, oh my God, 4-star, it's not that bad. But
your life is all over. Did you feel like you were at their mercy of your guests and everything, as opposed to it being now where you've got a bit more of that control, and particularly that you're very, you've got a certain criteria of who you have in your co-living spaces. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
it's way more control and less time consuming.
It's chalk and cheese really, because as a paying guest, then you have a massive amount of obligations to that paying guest. When it's medium to long stay, the connotations and just the whole dynamics are just completely different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We got a 2-star review once, and I was sitting in the corner of the room crying for 2 days.
It is actually quite devastating.
That
when
had a
you
head
get-
of hair before those 2 stars.
It is really actually quite devastating, because I know the effort that we used to put in, and when you do get someone who is just not happy because they're a person who can't just be happy, then they take it out on you. So it's like, it was a great experience, and we loved the whole setup, and it was a massive learning curve, but we do know that it's not for us.
So over the last while, we've been able to set up a great portfolio of cash flow positive property. This has been the quintessential part of being able to break out of that golden handcuff job, right? That was holding me back, and be able to create our own opportunity going forward. It's amazing. Like right now, we can just sit here, do nothing, and money's ticking in at 480K a year. Like literally, we've got to keep rooms full, but we don't have to do anything further, and we just got this time, right? And this time that we have to do things, we've obviously put into our energies into other things, but without the ability to create that time, we wouldn't have grown, we wouldn't have been able to expand. And the cash flow that we've generated from this has been able to give us that leverage to take our lives into a whole new journey. We've had some really cool stuff along the way. These properties that we've got, we look after them. They're our babies. We've got some awesome tenants in them. They're just pumping out cash week after week after week, and it's been an awesome journey to get there to this position. So we're very privileged and honored to be able to share our knowledge and our experience with people.
Yeah.
And today we're going to take that journey a little bit further, right? So I'll talk about some of the stuff that we do, right? This is one of our coolest strategies now that we're really, really super pumped and excited about, right? It's splitter blocks, right? You get hold of a block, you cut it in two, you create a nice little house. It looks really awesome, right? Standard in the front, you wouldn't say it's anything different than a beautiful little house. And they're just average kind of looking houses, but when you see the results of this, it's quite phenomenal, right? So these splitter blocks that we're getting, you look at an average output of 2 rentals, and it will never compare to this. The gross on the output is 224K a year gross, right? If you work out the numbers on this, it's around about 100K net profit per annum on one of these splitter blocks. It's awesome, right? You get one of these going in the right area, the right place, and we're going to talk about finding good deals in a minute. But this is some serious cash flow. This is some good results, isn't it, Cheryl?
Absolutely.
When we think about we're doing the numbers on these, they really sing. And this is kind of the stuff that we're into at the moment. So, and it's part of the stuff that we teach about in our mentorship program. So splitter blocks are really, really awesome. They're easy to get into in a lot of states. The rules are changing in a lot of states where you can get subdivisions done very quickly. In Victoria, a couple of weeks and you can get a subdivision done, and you can start building nearly in a couple of months, and off you go. And you can start creating some cash flow out of these. Obviously a little bit of a bigger buy-in, but they definitely do have massive potential. We've got some great development opportunities coming up our way, which we're focusing on. And these development sites that we're working through got massive potential. This one in particular, we've been working on for a while. It started out as a 750 square meter block. We're now been negotiating our way through this up to 6,000 square meters of pure, beautiful real estate in a fantastic section of Melbourne, and we're super excited. I don't share too much about this because we're still through negotiations, but it is really, really phenomenal. Once we get this pulled off, we're going to be building some really cool stuff there. These are the results of what we're looking to accomplish. So imagine this, right? A whole apartment block of awesome co-living space created from sustainable construction materials, right? eco-friendly builds with environmentally friendly outcomes across this, right? That's what we're aiming for, to create these environmentally sustainable construction models. Check this out. We love this. Out of this property deal, if you did the numbers on the six floors, right? 6-floor co-living space, which we've created, and we work out the average rental on this on a per annum output. That's $2 million, nearly $500,000 per annum of rental income. I can guarantee you can look at any other apartment block anywhere in all of Australia. It will not be producing that much amount of output anywhere else, right? That is for now. What do you think about those results there, Cheryl?
That's pretty good income.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
This is what I
income,
love, is that we're not just looking at the cash flow side of things. It's, I'm really big on the social impact. We're creating communities here. That's why you call it co-living. It's community living. It's it may just look like dots there, but you've got outdoor spaces for people to interact. You've got places for people to work, where it's co-working spaces and underneath, and being able to have that sustainable and the environmental side of things as well makes it, people can thrive and live comfortably and healthily in a community like this.
Yes, exactly. And that's one of our key fundamental teachings, is that we want to create places where people are going to feel comfortable, warm, homely, not just a little box that's segmented, but they can have space that they can create community and energy around this. So in this design in particular, we had some really cool outdoor space at the bottom, and there's some great features for gardens and facilities where people can enjoy themselves and really create that community and connect and energize the place. In an area like this, it's really, really awesome. So
Fantastic.
we're pretty excited about this stuff. Now, okay, so we made many mistakes along the way. Sorry?
Are you able just to mute that? The dings are coming through. Just mute it.
All right, I want to ask the big question here. Have we got the list?
Yep. Can we do that?
What is the most important thing for you, Cheryl, do you think? Cash flow or equity?
Absolutely critical question. I started off many years ago. I'll say almost 20 years, but that will show my age. That I thought growing equity was the main thing. I was living in Brisbane at the time. I was in uni. I picked up the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, like so many sort of entrepreneurs and property developers do. And I thought, I'm going to accumulate assets and wait for them to increase in capital growth. And we did that for quite a few years, and realized that equity is great, but cash flow is even better. Because if there's one thing you can do, is if you can create cash flow, and that to a certain extent you can have control of, and you can sort of guarantee, whereas you can't guarantee capital growth. Capital growth is the bonus that comes with any cash flow that you're creating, and you're manufacturing that. Whereas with equity, unless you're manufacturing equity through renovations or developments and things like that, if it's a property that's just sitting there, there's not really much you can do except for wait. And if anything, in the last year or two, or actually 3 years, when the market in the big cities have really slowed down, people have gone back. They've got negative equity if they've bought in the last year or two. So to be able to turn that around, and I'm sure you've got many of these examples where you've turned properties that were very, very low yield to extremely high yield.
That's right. And so,
that's been able to change people's lives, their income.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a really good point. With equity, this is how I see it, right? Equity is your empire. Equity is that if you're growing your portfolio, it's your empire, right? You have that as a sustainable baseline. However, cash is the foundation that creates the ability for you to be able to do stuff and move forward. Without that cash input, you're going to always be stuck. And there's always this battle because you need equity to maybe fund more deals, right? That's this battle that a lot of people have. But if you can create a scenario where you have cash flow coming to support you, equity as a resource that's yours, right? We've learned now that you can actually use other people's property, right? I mean, other people's equity to create a result. Is that right? And
Yeah,
so
leverage is the word that you
yeah,
want.
leveraging other people. So you have this, if you can create a potential to create cash flow, then you can do all kinds of cool stuff, right? So for me, the most important thing is cash flow, right? Without cash flow, there's nothing else you can do as an entrepreneur because you're just stuck in this vicious circle trying to get yourself out of it. And then you got nowhere to go because you're focusing on this equity thing. However, equity is fundamentally one of the key parts to move and grow, but cash flow is a foundation for me. Once I was able to create the cash flow to sustain us in our lives, in our business, boom, it didn't matter about the equity. Even though equity, we have crazy amounts of equity, it mattered now that I had time. And the time was the most important thing out of that. Awesome.
Is there more to that?
And that's the critical thing that we keep hearing time and time again. Why do so many people get into property? Whether it's property investment and development, it's that desire for freedom and that desire for more time to do the things that we want to do and pursue in our lives, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what?
Like those little voices in the back of the room.
Yes, I always hear little voices.
Those are the things you want to spend more time with.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, so I want to touch on something else that's very important, right? There are four things that are going to hold you back, I think, and in real estate, right? But before I say that, I want to ask you a few questions, right? If you have a goals of being your own boss, right? You have this thing in your mind, you want to get out of the job that you're in, you want to create your freedom. Why haven't you? Why haven't you done it up to now? What has held you back for all this time? If you wanted to travel around the world, right?
Four-letter F word.
Yeah, exactly. And if you wanted to travel around the world, you know, for a lot of people out there, why haven't you done it? Why haven't you created this dream that you want? If you wanted to be rich and famous, right? You're researching, you're trying to figure out how I can get to be a position where I'm wealthy and rich and can be on TV or whatever. Why haven't you done it? Why haven't you got to that position yet? And if you want a portfolio of property that can, you know, sustain you and create the wealth that you're looking for, why haven't you done it? What has held you back all this time? What is the problem that has prevented you from getting there? And I'm going to play devil's advocate here, right? And I'm going to tell you right now that there's four things. Four things. And everybody struggles with it. Everybody suffers with this affliction. These four painful afflictions that all human beings have. One of them is deflation. And I'm not talking about the opposite of inflation. I'm talking about demotivation, right? Because constantly, as human beings, to be motivated, to feel like you want to move forward, you freaking have to be pushing yourself all the time, right? It's like a balloon. You ever blow a balloon up, right? And the balloon deflates, right? So every day when you go to sleep, you feel like you're blowing up your balloon. You wake up in the morning and you feel a bit inflated. You feel inflated, right? You go to work, you do your thing, you come home, you feel deflated. And this constant thing, and those rhythms can fluctuate, so it might be opposite to that. But this rhythm happens all the time to us. We feel deflated. Deflation is an affliction that all human beings have that we struggle with, right? To find momentum, energize ourselves, and to be able to move forward, it's crazy. It holds us back so badly, and lots of people get it worse than others. Some people are lighter, some people are worse. But those that have been able to control deflation are the ones that are moving forward at a crazy pace. So you want to be thinking about this part, right? There's four parts. The next one, time. Wow, we know what it's like, right, Cheryl? When you've got kids running around and you've got life going on, you've got to get from A to B, you got your friends calling you, you got business to do, you got,
Stuff.
lives to do, and all this stuff, right? We're cutting things into segments, like you said, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. And if you're working a full 8-hour day and then coming home and trying to be an entrepreneur, you struggle, right? Time is that one asset and this affliction is one of the biggest pains, right? It hurts people, it hurts us because we don't know how to manage it, and so many people don't know how to control this aspect and leverage it. And I'm going to show.
That's a critical point there. I mean, obviously we all have the same amount of time, and everyone, at different times of their lives will have different priorities. I think it all comes down to priorities. What do you choose as your top priorities? Because it's not so much I don't have time, it's that it's not my priority.
Where are you putting
So
your time?
whether it's exercise, whether it's actually having a side hustle, you sort of go, no, I could do it, but actually my priority is I want to spend some time with my family, or vice versa. So I think it's really something more people need to ask themselves is, are they uncomfortable enough in their position to take themselves out where they're going, I'm going to put this as a priority and basically schedule my time around that.
Exactly. And when you can, priority is one of the key things to managing time and leveraging it. And being able to utilize the maximum amount of your time by also leveraging other people's time. Yeah. And we're going to touch on that later on, aren't we? Something really cool we're going to show you guys about how Cheryl is awesome at leveraging time using other people. It's really, really cool. So, big affliction, guys. Confidence. So many people want the confidence. You want the confidence to go into a deal? You see a big development deal or any real estate deal, right? You got to fork out 500,000, 800,000, a million, whatever it is, and you don't know if you're going to make the right choice, right? You don't have this confidence, or you need to move somewhere in your life. You want to get a better job, or you just don't have the confidence to put yourself out there. Confidence stifles so many people. Without confidence, you're going to end up like that, right? Head in the sand. And I see that so many times, people that I speak to, and they ask question after question after question about the basics, and they just don't have the confidence that's instilled in them to be able to move forward. Now, confidence is really, really it debilitates people, right? Everyone understands the power of the necessity to have confidence to do stuff in life, in business, in anything.
Can I share something just on that, Matt Sahara? It may surprise you that I probably about 7, 8 years ago could not stand in front of people to speak. I couldn't even speak at a meeting. I would absolutely freeze. I tried to sign up to, what do they call, Toastmasters? Where they teach you about public speaking, but I couldn't even get there because I was so scared.
What happened? That's
And what
changed so
happened?
much.
And you know what happened? It was the whole idea that I said to myself, how are you going to be able to impact other people if you're too scared to be someone
Yeah.
else?
It's not about
It's
you
not
now,
about me.
right?
It's not about me.
Yeah.
It's also, and then obviously at that time I had my daughter, and I said, how do I show her how to be a strong role model if I can't step into my fear?
Exactly.
And so I just put myself out there. It was all the affirmations, like I would listen to, and this is, it's telling yourself actually in the mirror and telling yourself that you believe you are confident. And I used to say that. I used to say that in the mirror. I said, you're confident, you're strong, you're going to sit in front of, big developers and talk to them like you know what you're doing. And I say it sometimes, fake it till you make it, but you're not really faking it. You're giving yourself that sense of belief.
Yep.
And I highly recommend people listen to affirmations, like empower yourself because you can. And even presenting to the property development in Australia, that was a big step for me because I said I had to put myself out there.
And wow, you've done a great job of doing that.
And still,
And
it's learning. It's still learning, and there's certain things I still feel uncomfortable with. But this is the thing: I know it's not about me. I want to be able to change people's lives. I want to be able to make a difference. And the only way I can do that is to put myself out there. So for anyone that has any sort of fears, like you just have to work on yourself. It's here and here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good story.
Thanks for sharing, Cheryl.
That's all right.
There's that old saying, right? If you don't do it, it'll never happen.
No.
Yeah. I used to be afraid of public speaking as well. Quite funny. When I was younger, I had the fear. I couldn't speak in front of people. I would just cramp up and get the shakes and be all sweaty and stuff. And I got thrown into jobs. I was working on the mines. When you're in a leadership role in that big environment, working for a big company, they tell you got to present in the morning for doing safety meetings and all that kind of stuff, and you're
Freestyle
talking
meeting.
in front of 400 or 500 people at a time, and they're like, you got to do it, right? It's just no point. So I just threw myself into it, and after a while you get that comfort happens, and just because you do it, you take that step. In the beginning it's a fear thing, and you want to go run to the toilet and cry, but you do it, right? And you get out there, and then it creates momentum.
Can't get
The
that
more you
image
do
out
of
of my
it.
head now, Matt.
You get what I'm saying, right?
400 burly miners. So
It does help that you sound like Barry White.
Now, one other thing that holds people back, seriously, is people don't understand systems, right? You out there, if you're looking for real estate, if you're trying to do anything in life, business, operations, whatever it is, you need systems. You need to create a momentum to be able to rely on something that you can leverage off that works for you, right? One of the key aspects that we have been able to do in our life, in our business, and everything that we do, because we're very systems driven, is to put those systems in place. Sahara and I run 5 businesses, right? There's 2 of us in the office, plus our property manager. And we're running all of these businesses. We've got so many things going on, but we're leveraging other people. We're leveraging the system that we've created, and the system works for us to get so much done in a short period of time. And if you can understand systems, if you can make systems work for you, the confusion goes, right? Because you're relying on this, the system starts leveraging for you, and you're just putting stuff into that system, and more is coming out of it, right? Like a McDonald's. There's lots of burgers coming out when it works really well. And we're very, very strong believers in systems. And when you understand this, the power of a system, you understand what that can do for you incrementally and on a big scale, it can really change your life. So I never was really into systems until Sahara introduced me to the power and the context of it. But now we're very systems driven, and it's really changed a lot for us. All right. I want to catch up with you, Cheryl, and ask you a few cool questions, right? I know you're really pumped to share with us, and we're going to get into it. So,
Does the audience have any questions for you, or is Q&A time at the end?
I tell you what, we've got a lot of good questions in there. Hey,
no, they're
the
all
big block of cash flow.
talking about JVing, etc., etc.
Everybody's getting connected there. Awesome. Hey, so a major factor I've found with successful people is the intimate ability to never stop, right? Never stop. Even when the shit goes wrong, right? Even when it falls apart, successful people don't quit. They never stop, right? What gets you super pumped? What gets you jumping out of bed and ready to kick off and fire on all 4?
That's a great statement there, and something that I always sort of believe in is that you may get tired, and if you get tired and overwhelmed, don't stop, just rest. Take a rest. Sometimes we just need to recoup and come back to where we need to be, sort of get back to foundations and then start again. And yeah, it's the thing that really gets me, and we talk about this. I talk about this with Tony Meredith. We just had a psychology session in our business and property sessions. It's your why, it's your purpose. And again, I say about focusing on why you're doing this, because if you don't have anything to motivate you to do something that's bigger than yourself, you just sort of go, I don't have to do it. It's not going to make a difference. it's when you go, if I don't do this, I won't be able to achieve what I want in my life. I won't be able to make a difference to my life or my family's, and that's what gets me. That's what gets me up. I'm up at the crack of dawn, whether I have 3, 4, 5 hours sleep, because I go, you know what, I'm gonna get all this done today. And I get a bit grumpy with myself if I'm, half an hour late. I'm like, oh, I didn't get my meditation in. Oh, you know, and then my zen's all shot. But you're right. There are times that I need to check on myself, because I do have to pull myself back to stop and rest, because you do get burnt out. And if you guys, I know I, I check in with Matt, and I'm like, do you ever sleep? Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm just listening to you say you had 5 hours sleep. I'm like, wow, that's too long.
I did the Arnie impersonation. What does he say? Sleep faster.
You're getting better at that. That's awesome. You've been practicing.
But that's it. I mean, sleep is really important. I mean, good quality sleep is important. But definitely, I mean, it's more about utilizing your time to its best. Like, we don't watch TV. I don't really watch TV, apart from, I don't even know what my kids watch sometimes. I mean, I do, but I don't sit down and watch TV. And I'm always thinking, what can I do to be more productive? What can I do to be, something on the business or on a project or whatever it is? But that's what drives me, because that's what I'm passionate about. And just for you guys, like, you love what you're doing, and it doesn't feel like work.
Exactly. That's self-perpetuating, isn't it? When you start you energize yourself. I draw a lot of my energy from the people around me, and my sense of duty to want to help, like my family, my mother, my father, the people around me, really drives me, right? So they see our movement and our emotion, and they're like, now they're counting on you, right? They're saying, you are doing good. I want you to do better. And just that look that they give you, right? It's so self-perpetuating for me. That gives me the energy in the morning. But yes, exactly what you're saying is 100% correct. You got to, get a bit of rest in you. I have a strategy, what I do, right? And we sleep a bit. But we do this thing called power napping, right? So we'll power nap during the day. I will. And so it triggers off that energy again. So I'll wake up early, get a good bit of work in, have a power nap, boom, back into it again,
Second
and
wind.
then second wind, and then we're working through it again. So, but this whole energy of people around me, that really motivates me. The people that are counting on me the most, your family, your loved ones, I draw big energy from that. So there you go. Right, whoa,
Oh.
where'd they go? Sorry, I just lost you there. Right. What method? We'll talk about real estate. This is what we got together, right? We're going to find some deals. Whoa.
Oh.
We're going to find some deals, right? We're going to get some deals happening, because this is what we got together for, right? Let's talk about this, because it's awesome, right? What method do you use for finding deals, right? Because you're really good at this stuff, and we talk about it a lot, and you've taught me a lot. So let's talk about how this works for you.
So my forte is development sites, and that's where I started. I sort of stumbled into developments. I moved into an area. I'd always been sort of looking at sort of smaller subdivisions and things like that. And I stumbled into an area where there was a whole lot of sort of greenfield development happening. And it amazed me, because people were splitting up 5 acre, 10 acre blocks. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, all I've been thinking was, a duplex subdivision. And so that's when that was how my journey started. I started learning about how did people create like these communities, because I'd always, one of my dreams is creating a sustainable community.
Yeah.
And that meant a large acreage, a master plan community. And so that's sort of how it started my journey into acquiring sites for investors, for developers, and putting sites together. And so one of the tools, and this is, I reckon about 10 years ago, I believe I was using RP data at the time. And literally, and I'm sure anyone that's done a property development course will know is that you just have to pick your areas. And what I used to do, and looking at investment properties, is just look at the map, look at where the main arterial roads are, and then pick 3 areas where I said great transport, great amenities, close to university or hospital or whichever. So these main things, these location, location, location. And if you could find areas that were surrounded by this, you were pretty sure that you were in a good spot where people would want to move into. Um, and literally, it was sort of going through street by street, looking at RP data, using the filters to find what is it that you're looking for. And I stumbled upon sort of a spreadsheet of mine from about 10 years ago, and it was it was writing down, sent letters to this person, they responded, didn't respond. I sent second letters, and I look at it and I go, wow, I did that.
That is so weird because actually I was going through some boxes the other day and I stumbled across a letter that I had written for properties that we were looking for, right? Same thing. I was like, wow, it's changed so much, right? So the letter thing is a really great tool for looking for property, right? When we find that right way of setting them out. But I would not send it that way now, right? The whole style would be totally different. But it was just
That's really interesting. It is interesting you mention that because we are in such a technologically focused
Environment.
society now. I mean, I know still a lot of people do letter drops and they do it quite well, but I mean, even just the power of social media. Right now we look for sites for clients, and a lot of it is through social media and your networks. Like your networks are the biggest thing out of anything now. Um, your networks with your agents, and like I said, particularly with social media, you've got such a wide reach.
oh, absolutely. This is the thing, right? And you're touching on this point quite, highlighting this, is that there is real estate deals everywhere, right? There is real estate opportunity everywhere. People come and they say to me, oh, how do you find a deal? Well, one of the things is you need to have momentum. You need to have that energy to start you, right? You have to, because it's got to be consistent. You don't go and try and look for a deal here and there, and maybe, next weekend you'll go on a few, inspections and you'll go and have a look at the properties. It's relentless, right? To get good deals, you have to be consistently relentless. You brought up something really cool that we wanted to talk about, is that you went through a period of 300 opportunities you went through, right? To find the needle in the haystack. And I'll share a bit of a similar story that we have. Tell us a bit about that, because that's pretty cool. Because that's what it comes down to, right? If you want to find good deals, you can't be half-assed about it, right? You got to get stuck in. Find a system that works and just give it all you got until you find the deal, right? That's what it comes down to. That's the initiating part of this.
Yeah, and these were the deals that I actually tracked, and they weren't the ones that, you get hundreds of agents sending you stuff, over and over again. And this was, I guess, early on in my development journey, where I was really learning about doing feasibilities, assessing sites. So it was, for me, it was almost, that was my education. But seeing all the different deals and being able to just like, I can churn through them a lot quicker now, but having gone through that many deals, that was just 1 year, and the ones that I tracked, that was a huge learning curve for me. But this is the thing, like you don't stop, because the one thing you just remind yourself that the gold is the next thing.
3 feet from gold.
3 feet from gold, yeah.
Yeah, 3 feet from gold, exactly. And that's one thing that I always have at the back of my mind, at why I don't stop, because I'm like, if I stop, it could just be right there. But if I keep going, there's no chance that I could lose, right?
Exactly.
It's just whether you stop or not. That's the whole difference.
That's it. That's really what it comes down to, because once you have an idea of what you want to find, once you've locked in the deal, the aspect, how that's going to look for you, you go out there and you relentlessly do it until you find that deal, because it'll be there. It'll pop up to you. the funny thing is when we've been out looking for real estate, and so it's hard finding a good deal, and we get lots of people coming to us telling us that, look, it's freaking crazy. You're trying to get good deals out there. There's competition. It's tough, but the deals are still there, right? You just got to be so persistent, so committed, so dedicated at it that you'll find it, right? And the next part is you find these little needles in the haystack, and they blossom there. But now you're in this next phase, which is a negotiation phase, right? And real estate is not real estate. It's not about the property. It's about the people, how you talk to them, how you engage them, how you prepared to give and take amongst this process, right? Because you're not actually dealing with the land, because the land price up and down depending on who's going to take and do what, right? There's a conversation. Sometimes the conversation is direct. Sometimes the conversation is, kind of Chinese whispers, right? To the agent, to the owner, to the agent, to the you, da da da. And so, understanding this and negotiating this next level, this next part of it, is something that I think you have some good experience on, and talking about this. I'd like to know some more about that.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, it's I sort of compare it to sort of motherhood, and beforehand you sort of like, oh, carrying a baby is really hard, and then you go, oh no, then you have the baby, you're like, oh shit, that was harder than the last bit. Because you're like, it's so hard to find the deal. Yes, it is, but you're right, you're not dealing with human emotion at that time. It's when it's the next part where you're like, you've got to make sure that your offer suits the owner or the agent. I mean, it's the owner. And then when you get there, then it's like molding it and working with exactly all the emotions about why they're selling. They've got a whole thing. They've lived there for 50 years. The grandmother, had 100 years before that, whatever it might be. So it's working through that. And I've had deals where it took 2 years to get to a point till the owner was happy to transact. And months of really building that relationship and that rapport. I've had many a tea and scones with little old little old ladies and their husbands. But that sort of relationship made so much of a difference in the negotiation process, because people can genuinely see why you're there and that you actually do want to have a win-win.
Yeah.
That you're not coming across as the big evil developer, because I don't look like a big evil developer.
Yeah, you look pretty evil, Cheryl, really.
I haven't raised my evil eyebrow at you yet, but it is having that relationship and that rapport, and saying, what is it that you want? It's not about what I want as a developer to make all this money and things like that. Yeah, sure, of course, there's going to be a good amount of reward at the end of it, but there's a whole lot of risk that comes behind it as well. And it's also educating them that what needs to go through to get to that point,
Yeah.
and realize they're playing a part as a partnership. You're collaborating for them to get a good result. Like, if it wasn't a development, and if they didn't deal with you, their property wouldn't probably be worth as much as it is.
That's right. That's right. It's a tricky kind of thing, that process. And some people go to an auction, right? And that's just plain and simple, the auction. And therein lies just in one other concept of it, because an auction is driven by emotion, right? There's nothing quite numbers about it. People go in there and like, who's going to pay the most for this, right? It's like, and it's driven by emotion, and that selling process is kind of innate. But then they go past that, right? Say a property goes out of, it's passed an auction. You're now in a position to negotiate. And you could be between you, the owner, and say somebody else, right? So it's still semi an auction. But every now and then you have this really, really cool scenario that happens, right? Where they're under pressure to sell, right? They need to get the money to either move into a new deal, or like you said, they've got their grandmother to look after, or their situation. And these little things happen to just give this deal a really, really sweet context, right? And Then all of a sudden you're this person that's got an offer that they want, and it's a good deal. Both of you are going to win. It's reasonable, and something happens, right? To find those means going through those 300, right? Constantly, day in, day out, looking, until something interesting comes along, and you a few of those interesting scenarios happen, right? And then you're going to have to choose. But ultimately, what's happening is you're dealing with people, right? And people is the context here to this whole real estate thing. Really, if you want to get good deals, you have to learn how to deal with people, talk to them. And I love your idea of getting to know who they are. I love those questions that you ask about, getting to find out what they really, really want other than the money, right? Talk to me a little bit about that, because I love those ideas that you have.
Questions and having the right questions to an owner is the most critical part of negotiation. It's not just the terms and conditions, and that's the part where you have to almost pick all your terms and conditions with them, and be absolutely aware of how they react to certain things. So, say for example, one of our deals, and the vendor was sort of happy with the price, but there was something that I could tell what they weren't really comfortable with. And when I drilled further, and it was like, trying to understand, and it's the question, it's the open-ended questions, like, you know, um, what are the things that you're not particularly comfortable with? Tell me a bit about that, and what would need to be, what in an ideal scenario, what would it need to happen for you to be agreeable to this? So always steer them, give them a little bit of a journey, but allow them to talk.
Mm.
And
Learn.
so, for one of our deals, it was the fact that the vendor was just afraid that they were going to lose their rental income. So that was a big thing. That was a big thing for them. And even over and over again, they're like, "Oh, I don't know if you'll be able to market. It's going to lose our tenants." And so we were able to say, "Hey, what what is it that you're concerned about? Is it that um, is it the length of the project, or that you're actually afraid that you don't have enough to pay for, whatever your mortgage or whatever it might be?" And they're like, "Oh, we just don't want to be without tenants." So we're like, "Okay, well, what if we were able to cover the rent and pretty much put in a rental guarantee?" And they went, "Oh, okay, so that means that I'll still be in the same position?" And they were like, "Yeah, that's the whole idea. We want to make sure you're looked after, and that this transaction's as smooth as possible for you. If that allows you to have a level of comfort, let's put that in."
Yeah,
And that would be able to help them move forward from that sense of, "Oh, I'm not quite sure. This is the part that's holding me back." That was the hurdle. So you really need to dive in and understand, because if people are sitting there having a conversation with you, they're effectively waiting for you to come up with a solution.
yeah, absolutely. Then people want to talk about, they want to talk and they want to feel comfortable. And one thing I've learned over the years is that people don't want to do business with businesses. They want to do business with people, right? Transactions happen between people, and you want to, as soon as someone is feeling comfortable with you or they like you, right? It doesn't matter if somebody has a better offer, you can still be that person that they want to do business with because they like you. You've taken the time out to ask the question, "Hey, how's your mum? What's going on there? I heard she was in hospital. Is she okay?" And you have this conversation of coming from a place of empathy, and that empathy really resonates. The one thing that makes this hard, though, is when you have an agent in the middle, right? So we understand, we love agents. Agents do a good job for the most part. But the best way to find a good deal is dealing directly with an owner. There is no better way. So if you people are out there looking at realestate.com.au, yes, you can find deals. Look, you're going to be dealing with competition, but I can guarantee you the best deals out there are the ones that happened between you and an owner, right? They like you, they feel comfortable with you, you've offered a win-win situation out of this proposition, and it's going to happen, right? The competition on with dealing with an agent, if it's on market and you're in a super hot area, forget about it. You're never going to pay the best price for that deal. It's never going to eventuate, because unless, of course, it's, one of those unlikely scenarios where it's snowing and it's hailing and you're the only person that ended up at the auction, and good on you, they need to sell the property then and there and then, and you've won it, right? So it's a very unlikely. So out there on the market, on the standard market, you're going to be competing. So if you're looking for good deals, I would always be suggesting, and all the comments that Cheryl has made, is that you're talking to an owner, right? You're talking to somebody else that owns land. If you can be in that scenario, you're going to have a much better outcome than being in a position where you're having to deal with an agent. Like, don't get me wrong, agents are good and they can give you some good value. And if you're networking with the right ones, you can get deals off market. And most of them, when they're happening like that, you'll go be actually talking to the owner, like how we do it, right? We have guys that we work with agents and they'll introduce us to the owner, and because we're doing big deals, it's necessary. So we're having that communication. But it's really, really key, really, really critical to be able to do deals, good deals. Need to talk to somebody that owns that land, right? Because then that process is quicker and it's a lot faster. Yeah, you're dealing straight with the decision maker. Oh my God, how frustrating is it when you have this Chinese whispers thing going, Cheryl, right? And you got this story. Yeah. But you go, I'm saying, right, the communication thing, it's hard, right? You talk to somebody who relays a message, and it comes back, and there's just this disjointed communication. And the deals just fall apart, right? They just fall apart. But when you got a direct communication, how much easier is it, right? How much better is it for that whole process when you're doing deals?
Yeah, and this is it. I go back to that whole having a really strong relationship with the owner as well, because they are, and like I said, this is the third phase. Once they've agreed with you and you've got through that hurdle, then you've got the lawyer and the accountant to deal with as well.
Have a party.
Then you go into the ring again. And so if the lawyer and the accountant are not property and development focused, then that's another hurdle there, because then you've got this scenario where the lawyer might not really understand. Most if not all of our option agreements, and the lawyer doesn't understand that. They just go, no, this doesn't look right. I think you need to push back on this, when it really is a commercial decision for the owner. And so in that situation, it's, I've had situations where the vendors and the owners come back to me to say, Cheryl, he's questioning this. Can you talk to him
Yeah,
about
yeah. Because they want it to go smoothly, right?
Yeah.
And they don't want to lose the deal.
Yeah, and like I said, build that relationship, because it's 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 a really sort of what's the word? It's quite an erratic sort of journey when you're going through that process of putting a deal together, because it could be, you get all these highs and you're like, yes, 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 they agreed, and then the lawyer goes, oh, this, and you're like, oh shit, and it's down here, it's about to go like this. And I've had lawyers who basically, and it was because they had no idea, send me 2 lines in response to a 4 or 5 page offer, which is actually maybe not that long. For
Longer than the
lines to
offer.
say, the owner doesn't accept.
What? How frustrating, yeah. That's
And
the,
that's why you said it's really important to have that relationship with the owner, because then you can have that conversation and be like, hey, we agreed on this. Where's your lawyer at?
yeah.
You need to bring him on board.
Yeah, bring on board. And that's, once you do that, you can, align it, because, the owner's paying the lawyer and they have to do what they say, kind of thing, right? And but this is the thing, right? Finding deals out there, regardless of the market, regardless of the ups and downs of the economy, regardless of what people are telling you, regardless of what you might think, there's good deals out there. and they're constantly perpetuating. The cycle happens, you just got to understand and know where to look. There is always, this is my philosophy on real estate, right? As soon as you purchase a property, 90% of it is distressed. The second somebody buys a property, it's distressed. Now there's different levels of distress, right? That distress might be in the green for the most part, for most of the time. But then a lot of people are down, and that distress level happens there. Right at the lower level, obviously there's a level of where people are ending up in courts, there's repossessions and all that kind of stuff, right? But just before that happens, there's this area of distress where people need to do something with their property at that moment, right? They have life hits them. And life is this, mum and dad is sick, or, something bad has happened, there's been an accident or something like that. It could be something bad. Generally, it's just life changing, right? Life has happened. And so now there's this level. They're not broke, they're not getting repossessed, but they need to do something, right?
They need to change.
And I find in that little area of, it's orange, I suppose, is this little sweet spot, right? And it's out there, it's buzzing in the market constantly, whether the market's going up or going down, right? There's this area of, I wouldn't call it distress, I'd call it like pre-distress. And it's where people need to offload property. And if you can operate in that area or that dynamic, and you're thinking about that when you're out there, that somebody needs to offload something to me right now, you're going to find a deal. It's out there. That's my perspective on it. And we see it over and over again. We see these cycles happening. A cycle starts, right, when you decide, I want to get property. I want to buy something right now. The cycle starts. As you're going through your cycle, you start getting no's, or rejections, or failures, or it's not happening, right? And as you're going through, you're making offers, you're presenting yourself, you're meeting people. And then the cycle flows, it goes over, and you find that where you started starts coming back on you, right? So those deals that you started hitting in the beginning, little bits by ones that are important, kind of come back to you and say, hey, are you still interested? Hey, are you still interested? And this cycle happens, but it starts when you start pushing. The harder you push, the more the back follows you to come back and say, hey, it taps you on the shoulder. It says, hey, are you still interested? You're still keen on this deal? It's there. Maybe we can, talk about this. And sometimes those things happen maybe 6 months down the track, could be 3 months down the track. But it's like your deal, right? 2 years. It happened. You constantly kept at it. Didn't mean you weren't looking for other deals, right? You were going through your cycle. You were pushing your momentum. But this was tapping you on the shoulder every now and then, saying, yeah, and you were doing stuff, right? And this happens. In real estate, you push your cycle. You start your cycle now. I want a property deal. The harder you push, the quicker you're going to find that cycle backing up on you and tapping you on the shoulder, saying, hey, hello, there I am. You want to buy me? Yeah, well, there. So always remember that, people, when you're out there on property hunting, there's multiple levels of doing it, right? Social networking with people, just talking to people, real estate agents, getting onto the software platforms, and just getting out there and doing it. And groups, right? Just getting, there's so many ways of finding deals, but it's a people business, right? You got to get there talking, you got to get there doing, you got to take action every day. See where those opportunities are, talk to people. You will find a good deal. And we're going to talk about this later. You will find people that want to partner with you, actually give you money. They'll give you money, right? They'll give you their money and say, hey, let's do some business together, and boom, you can make some money. You don't even have to bring your own money into it. You partner with people and you're moving into a whole new level of thinking, right? Because now you're like, wait a minute, I don't actually need 350K for a deposit. Somebody out there has it, right? And you can partner together and make stuff happen. But you've got to be out there on the cycle and journey. You've got to be doing it every day, every week to make it happen. Is that right, Cheryl?
Yeah, I'm interested to find out, I guess, how many people in the audience are doing property and development or investment as a side hustle, as in you've got a job and you're building your portfolio. If you've got a side hustle, if this is a side hustle, say yes, because I'd be really keen to find out.
Who has a side hustle? I think a lot of you have a side hustle. Right there in the comments. I have a side hustle. Boom.
Side hustle. Just say hustle.
Yes, in Perth. Yes. Yes. Anyone else? Nobody hustling in real estate? What is wrong with you people?
Corey,
Every day
yes.
we're hustling. So
Yeah.
I submit for those
We've got a really good proportion of people who are hustling in real estate. Yes. I love it. Good work, guys. Real estate is an awesome side hustle, yeah?
it is because it allows you to do it almost 24/7 with the technology that we have now. But one thing, particularly if you're doing it as a side hustle, is absolutely we talk about this word leverage. Whether you and it's so important to be able to leverage someone else's time or your money. It's either leveraging your time or your money.
Yes, exactly. Which brings me on to an interesting subject. When I see you doing all the stuff you're doing, right? You're crazy busy. You've got so much happening. I see you got your awesome kids with you. You got your family you look after. You're doing property deals. You're out there on social media. You're doing so many videos. I'm like going, whoa, how do you do all this stuff, right? You're posting. You're getting stuff happening, and it's very rare, right? It takes a lot of setup to get this kind of working for you, and I love how you've been able to create your system, right? Where you're leveraging other people to give you that next level up. Now, you want to tell me a little bit about how you're doing that, because that little secret, because finding real estate out there is a hard gig, but doing everything plus doing real estate, you've got it really finely tuned. And we'll share our story, but you go ahead, Cheryl. I really love this whole context that you got there.
Yeah. And I'll say, I've been at the point where I've been in absolute overwhelm. Like I wanted to do everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like I still do. But one of the key things that I discovered sort of a few years back, and this was sort of triggered by reading The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. I don't know if you read it yourself.
Love
Yeah.
that book.
And he talked about this whole idea of outsourcing, and I just went boom. It was like wow, because I lived in Singapore, so when living in Singapore, you find quite a lot of business people or wealthy families. They'll have helpers at home, they'll have drivers, and I used to think, how wow, to be able to have someone to do the stuff that that you don't really want to sort of focus on your business and home. That's amazing. And so when I started in my own business, like, oh, how do I do that? And so I started outsourcing certain functions because I was, property for me was a side hustle. And so, there's so many businesses out there, and particularly in the property space, whether it's using, buyer's agents or whichever. And now, and this is one of the reasons we've started our outsourcing company, which is Your Property VA, because we found so many businesses and investors, agents who were just doing everything. Like we call them the CEOs, the chief everything officer. They're in everything, and it's like I'm losing my mind. And so we were able to. I was able to see because I've been there before. I knew where the pain was. I'm like, hey, there's a whole lot of stuff in the back end that you can get someone else to do, so you can leverage your time. I can't. I've got a certain finite amount of time that I have for work because I've got young kids and they're still hanging off my legs. My husband wants to see me sometimes.
Sometimes.
And so I've got to be able to balance that. So be efficient, but go all right. Well, what are the functions that whilst I'm working and doing the core things that's bringing in revenue, but something that someone can support me in doing in the back end.
Yes, it's incredible. The whole world has changed these days with real estate investing. When we first started, one of the things we found, and that's whole persistence and commitment thing, is connecting with people, right? So we were sending out letters back in the old days, right? Letters, right? That's like email, I think now.
They used to
And
have stamps on
yeah,
them.
real stamps. And we would go out there and we would, we'd get somebody, like we would do this, go and post all the things, right, blah, blah, blah. It was a lot of work and energy. It took up a lot of time talking to people, blah, blah, blah. it's that whole concept has changed for us now, right? We run 5 businesses. We're outsourcing people who are experts at certain things, and we're leveraging little components where that letter dropping thing doesn't even make sense before. We'll send out emails, we talk to people, we're paying for advertising, and we're getting our leads happening through outsourcing. So we don't have a big office, but we're running nearly 20 people, right? And you're probably the same, right? You're leveraging it. One of the core things about this that we've done is being able to use VAs for the simplest things, right? There's a market out there that wants to do things like data entry, right? Data entry for us has become a very important role in our business. And I know there's certain people that just don't want to do data entry, or they're going to charge you $50 an hour to do data entry, right? But there's this balance, this fine line. And so we found that being able to leverage a situation like the VAs that Cheryl is talking about has totally changed everything that we do, because now we've been able to quantify and grow a business successfully and get stuff done, right? Get shit done. And that's what a VA company can really do for you. Like it's not giving out, you need expertise, you need experience for doing certain things, but you also need people to be able to do some grunt work. And there's a market out there that can help you with that. We're really fortunate to be able to, be a part of that. And what the VA company that Cheryl is talking about is a really, really awesome way for you as an entrepreneur to be able to leverage time. Get back a little bit of your time. If you need to do research and you need to do certain kinds of things, get somebody to do it for you while you're at work, right? You're paying them a couple of bucks an hour, $20, 15, $12 an hour, I don't know what it is. And you're getting them to do something. So you're leveraging it, right? You're winning back 8 hours of time. 8 hours of time somebody's doing something. You lay out a system. How do I find deals, or how do I need to do this to create cash flow? And you get the system working for you. In our group, we've got people that do property management, right? And property management, self-property management for renting out rooms can be time consuming. And so having somebody do the grunt work for us has been really, really valuable, right? It's been so awesome. And so guys out there who are listening to us today, understand the amazing advantage that you get by using a VA company. Cheryl has a company that she's set up, and she's doing this. She's offering the service to people. I highly suggest we'll post the link up on here. I think we'll do that now. Can you send me that link, please, Cheryl, just on Messenger, and I'll post it up here for everybody. You guys, if you want to catch up and get a VA, somebody to help you, that's...
Cheryl can just post it on here.
I'll post it. Have you got Zoom up there? Just post it on the Zoom for everybody. And you guys just go through the form, fill it up. There's no commitment or anything. Just have a chat with the guys and see if it's something that you're interested in. It can be really advantageous to, growth and getting stuff done.
It's also very flexible.
Very flexible.
Very flexible. Like if you don't need someone full time, then you go, okay, I need someone for a pocket of time each week to do X amount, and you can then train that person as well.
Exactly.
So it's very...
depends on what it is that you need. Like each individual, each business is going to be different, right?
Exactly.
And we've got our on-demand champions. We call them champions because they're absolute champions, because they make such a huge difference. Or we just have people who say, there's such good value, and they help us do so much. I might as well have them full time.
It's crazy, right?
Like 8 hours of you at work, and you're earning, $60, $70, $80 an hour, whereas you're paying a fraction of that for someone else to be able to help you.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like for me personally, I've got a VA. She does an incredible job. She's my right hand. She's on my emails. She's doing everything that on a repeat basis. She reminds me. She's there. She orders our stuff for us. Whatever orders we need, it's just there. She's just changed our life. Totally changed our life. We've got another girl that does all our advertising and marketing on Flatmates, Gumtree, all that kind of stuff. It's a set and forget, right? She's just filling rooms. She goes and she answers all the ads. She pretends she's us. I think she likes pretending to be us. She's out there just doing it. And so it's really, really been a revolutionary change for us. So you guys, if you want to get involved with that, Cheryl's going to pop the link up there. Go and fill in that form and off you go. Really recommend it. Right. One more thing, guys. What's up? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. This is a big question for you, Cheryl. I hope you're going to be able to answer this. You ready for this? Yeah? What drives you and how do you want to impact the world?
Oh man, that's one of my favorite words, impact. It is called the impact, by the way, if you didn't already know. And I'll go back. I like telling stories because it reminds me of where it came from. I remember when I was probably about 12 or 13, someone asked what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I said I wanted to be a peacekeeper. I thought it sounded really cool, but I didn't realize you actually got to go and like stand on the front line and risk getting blown up. So when I realized that it didn't sound as romantic as the reality is, I went, that's stuff that I don't really want to go blow myself up. But the premise behind that was I love connecting. I love connecting people. And to be able to pull together people in property, and I see to be able to give people homes where they feel safe, where they feel, I have this big need to build communities, and someone asked me, is that because I come from a village? And I'm like, I came from a big city, I'm not from a village, but yes, I like village people, but it's that whole idea of looking after your neighbor, right? And I love being able to impact people by feeling that they belong.
Yeah.
They belong somewhere, and that's what they have this sense of belonging and safety with the people around them. And from that, it conjures up this. Then, as a whole, you go, all right, well, I need to look after not just myself, but everyone else around me. And then it's this ripple effect where it just touches everyone else that you come into contact with. And so, the big thing about what I do is to be able to create huge impact. If it's just that one person and then they do it for multiple people after that, it's like a network marketing, a network marketing business, right?
It just
So
spreads.
people sort of stretch out. That for me is how I want to impact. And if we do it through property, or teaching people about investment and growing their wealth, but that allows them time freedom to then do amazing things like charity stuff, giving more generously. I think that's my why.
Wow. That's good. That's really awesome. Community is awesome. And you know what? You have a big heart and an amazing passion. We're really, really, really privileged to have you on this tonight and to have this chat with you. We feel connected to you, and you're an awesome inspiration to us. Look, I hope that everybody on this session has had a really good time, and maybe you've learned a few nuggets from here. Real estate is by far the best and most powerful ways of being able to create wealth. If you understand it, if you can leverage it, if you know how to master real estate the right way, you can set yourselves up. People like Cheryl and us, we're evidence of this, right? We didn't come from silver spoons. We didn't come from anywhere special, right? We've applied ourselves, we've given ourselves context, and we've made it work, right? You can do this. You have the potential, the power, the capacity inside of you right now to get it done. You just have to keep moving, keep pushing, keep the momentum up, right? And then keep working to better your systems. There is nothing stopping you from achieving goals, right? When we started, it was nothing more than let's just get this shit done. How can we do it? How are we going to make this work? How are we going to get to the point where we need to get out of our freaking jobs, right? It wasn't easy, it was hard, but we made it work. You guys out there, you can do this. There's nothing stopping you. You just need to apply yourself and put your processes in place. And it's that simple, right? Now, a lot of you out there, we've been speaking about it. It's now launched. We're doing a mentorship program, right? Our mentorship program is about taking people through our steps, right? Helping you to understand how we've grown, giving you inspiration, giving you momentum to keep moving forward, giving you the tools to create the cash flow so that you can get out of your job and to do it quickly, right? We are offering this mentorship program and we're guaranteeing your first deal within 12 weeks, right? And onto that next level that you need to get to without any fear of failure, without any lack of confidence, right? We want to give people the confidence they need to be able to move forward in their journey in real estate, right? And we're going to be able to give you that with our process. It's called the Gorilla Method. Now, if you want to hear more about that, if you want to know more about that, put up your hand and I'm happy to send you guys the link, right? This is going to be an awesome opportunity for you to learn more about real estate, how we've done this, right? It's not to take away from any other opportunity that you've got out there. It's just to give you a leverage position. And we're doing mentorship. We're going to take people under our wings and we're going to guide them through a process to get out of their jobs and to start creating real wealth with real estate. So if you're up for that, I'm going to put the link in the message. For those of you that are on the development side, if you're interested, you can just, I'll share the link later on and you can just lock into that, right? So anyway, Cheryl, thank you so much. It's been a privilege having you here with us and we're truly, truly inspired. I hope that the audience here has got something valuable out of this tonight.
Any questions?
And if anyone out there has any questions, now is the time to ask. We've got some good audience out here, guys. I know that some of you there have some good questions. Open up your mics and give us something solid.
Yeah, I can't see any questions, so you'll have to read them out.
So we've unmuted everybody. If you'd like to ask a question. Has anybody got any questions?
I know you have, Julian. You have questions. All right. Whoa.
Hello, can I ask a question?
You
Yeah.
can, of course.
Hi,
How you
Barbara.
doing? Hi, Barbara.
Hello, I'm in actually Mandurah, an hour south of
Nice.
Perth. I don't know whether this is relevant to doing over here or I need to look at Victorian. That was my question earlier. Are you working only in Victoria?
No, we're carry on.
Well, yeah, and are you looking at city or regional specifically, or both?
We're everywhere now. We want to mentor people all over Australia. This concept works anywhere. Actually, works anywhere in the world. We've got friends that are doing this in the UK. Friends that are doing it in the US. It's a global phenomenon, right? People need a place to stay. Share housing and affordable accommodation is fundamentally part of our community now, right? It's never going to go away. It's only going to get more and more. And those that want to impact the community, huh?
Well, I've set up one in my town of Mandurah, and I've got 6 bedrooms and 4 are built. So I'm already 3/4 of the way there. I just think that there's a lot of opportunities that in Western Australia where the growth isn't so huge and maybe the returns aren't so good as in Sydney or just suburbs of Melbourne.
Yeah, of course. Look, there's certain aspects to this where location will impact, but the one thing you have to understand is that affordable housing is everywhere. Whether you're in Perth, whether you're in the middle of Australia, north, south, east, west, people need a good place. So when you're buying in at further away places, you're buying in at a lower cost, but you're obviously not going to make as much, but it's less risk and it's more stable in certain places. You just got to then quantify how your deal looks. Being closer to the city, don't get me wrong, definitely better because people want to be close to the city, but doesn't mean to say it can't work in other places. We got students and people that we've worked with that have been doing this all over. Sorry, somebody's trying to video call me. Doing all over Australia, right? There's potential. Okay, Victoria is not just the only place that's doing well. We share this across. We got Brisbane people here, and Yeah, and you from Perth. So look, there's a lot of Melbourne people here. So yeah, yeah, I can see that. That's awesome. Hopefully that answers your question. Anyone else got any questions?
Yeah, Leonard's got a question.
Leonard? No?
No, I'm trying to unmute you. Hang on.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh,
Everyone's trying to unmute you now.
technology.
You did something to your button, right?
Oh, I don't
No?
know why.
All right, guys, I've just posted that. I'll post it again. It's Gorilla Cashflow. .net/method. Right,
Can you get it right?
gorillacashflow.net/method. And you'll get to a form. Fill in the form, we'll catch up and have a good chat and see how we can help you if we're going to be a good fit. So I'll say it again, gorillacashflow.net/method. Excellent. I posted it again. All right, we all good?
The second time is good. I don't know why I can't unmute.
Sorry?
Could you?
Do we have a price?
Yeah, we'll talk about that if we go through the form. Just fill in the form and we can talk about that after. It's going to be different for different people's levels, their experience, and what they're trying to accomplish. We got different packages.
If you go to Leonard, I can't unmute him.
Leonard, what's going
Just
on?
scroll down.
You want to talk, but it's
Scroll down.
silent. Where are you? Oh, there you are. No, sorry, mate. It's not letting me unmute you for some reason.
Can you do it your end, Leonard?
All right, type your question, right? How you doing, Paul? Good to see you.
Why?
Hey, Leo and Helen. Good to see you guys too. Demi, Anna, Lisa. You guys are all looking really good. All right.
Okay, there's 3 questions.
There's 3 questions. Excellent.
Oh, you haven't got a microphone, Leonard.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's not going to help you, Leonard, if you don't have a microphone.
Julian has a question.
Yes.
Julian, let me find you.
No?
Yeah, Julian, go. Go, Julian. Go for Julian.
Yeah, go for Julian.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Cheryl, as well. Thank you, both Matt. Amazing content tonight, inspiring and pushing me forward. I guess it's around focus. I'm in the Gold Coast. I can go and do Eugene boarding house in New South Wales because it's just on the border. I can be setting up something in the Gold Coast, or I can be driving to Brisbane and doing something up there. I'm just struggling to find clarity what we're looking to purchase and do a deal in the next 4 months. And I just can't. I'm just trying to find a focus point.
Pinpoint.
I guess it's like working and stacking the numbers and checking out all the different ways they all stack up. It's just hard to find which direction to point.
Yeah, it's always this constant battle in people's heads about, and this comes down to confidence, right? It's fundamentally the only thing that's really there is the confidence to where I want to go. And you're pretty driven. I know that you're pretty motivated. But to find that one thing that makes it work for you is something that you have to sit down by yourself and really just think about what you want to do. What's going to make you the happiest? What's going to get you ahead for you and your family right now? The day I sat, I'm the worst, right? I chase shiny objects sometimes like it's crazy, right? And I know that pain because one slip and I'm in that direction and I'm like, maybe I should do that or maybe I should do that. So it's very hard for me to stay 100% focused. So I battle with it constantly. So I truly understand where you're coming from. But the best way to get that is to just be honest with yourself, right? Say, hey, what is it? Oh, you got a family, right? You got a family that you got to feed and you want to build wealth for your future. Don't be pissing about, because if you're pissing about, you're never going to get anywhere. Say, okay, if Brisbane is my thing, let me just do it. Whatever it takes, I'm going to make this thing work. It doesn't matter, right? I've chosen my path. This is what I'm going to do. come hell or high water, nothing's going to faze me, right? The day I did that it made everything different for me because I now had purpose to move forward. Like I don't say anymore, I want to do this, I want to do that. If I do, Sahara slaps me, right? This is like, we're going to do this and this is what we're going to do and nothing stops us, right? So think like that. I know people struggle with this a lot. Shiny objects, confidence, which way should I go? Am I making the right decision? The point is, man, make a freaking decision and stick with it hell for leather, right? Because your family deserves that and you deserve that. I hope that can help you, man, because I know you've been at this for a while, but only you can answer that question, right? But it's going to come from you.
I think one of the things that you need to remember as well, and this goes to everybody, that don't overanalyze every single deal. Okay, nothing is 100% perfect, so don't go looking for that. Okay, if it's even 80% and it's the direction that you want to go, then just stop analyzing and start doing, because there's opportunity cost in that. 80% is a bloody good deal to be able to move forward with, and like then you can like pick up the rest of that 20%, do whatever it takes to get that, to get where you want to go, to make that deal happen, to make that work for you. So like I said, there's not 100%. There's not 100% deal out there. You can never tick all the boxes, and if you wait until you can tick all the boxes, you will be dead and buried. Okay, and there's no point to it all. So just 80%, even 70% is great. Just not moving forward is what's going to keep you where you are right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
thanks very much. Thank you.
you're welcome.
What do you think about that, Cheryl?
Absolutely. I think we get so paralyzed by fear that we're going to, it's going to blow up in our faces. But, to a certain extent, we've got to a certain extent, take calculated risks. We've got to be able to take calculated risks to be able to say, especially if you've got mentors. This is the great thing about being in a coaching or mentor program, that you're able to say, hey, I've done this. Can you just put your, just glance over it, have your review, give me your thoughts. And then, like I said, that 20%, don't forget, you're taking this as a journey of learning. What's the worst that could happen? As long as it's not good, you're not going to lose the shirt off your back. I mean, unless you've got it back, whatever, that's fine. But if it's still going to be able to allow you to make some bonus, some profit at worst case scenario, then do it. Just do it. You need to be able to step forward and be able to learn from that process, because you'll be the next level up just from doing that.
Yeah, that's it. Hopefully that helps, Julian. You're going to rock it there. Anyone else got any questions? Everyone give us a big smile. You're all beautiful. Thank you very much. Anyway, it's been a fantastic night, guys. So blessed to be on this with you, Cheryl. So awesome that we get to share with your
Appreciate
amazing group and all of us here on Zoom land. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been freaking awesome. We love you guys big time. We'll catch you again soon. Have a lovely week. See you on the next one. Thanks, Cheryl. See you later.
Thank you,
Bye,
Cheryl.
bye, bye.
Thanks, guys. See ya.